Hello folks, this is Anthony with livingtheend.com, and hey, today what I want to talk about is the true secret of manifesting. Now, how many of you have went through endless videos, endless coaches, endless hours and hours and hours of affirmations, and you still don't have your desire? How many are there? Okay? The reason why is because we're not understanding how manifestation really works. Okay? We think that there's a technique that you need to do. We think that there is a special word or a special sentence that needs to be said. We think that there is a special time that we have to do something. We think that we can pour water into a glass and talk into that glass and then drink that water, and the power of that is going to reverberate inside of us and create these frequencies within inside of us. That's not going to happen. Okay? First of all, the first thing that we need to realize is that we are an infinite being living and residing in the 3D. So the moment we do that, we are this infinite being that's residing in the 3D. We are now limited to an extent by that 3D. Okay? Now, I know there's channels out there that tell you just be I am. Just the I am is the secret stuff. And I am is all. I am is everything. I'm not taking that away from the I am. Absolutely not. Because you can go back to some of my videos and see. Okay? However, if we think that somebody that's had a traumatic childhood or that's had issues in their childhood, like I did, that person is just gonna jump into this manifesting scene and say, I am this and I am that, without first dealing with their self-concept, their conception of who they believe they are, and then everything is going to get manifested for them, are sadly mistaken. Okay? And unfortunately, that's where a lot of this stuff is coming from. Okay? I am that I am is the most powerful sentence man has ever heard. And I am is the most powerful two words that man has ever spoken. There's no doubt about that. Okay? But the infinite being that resides in us, the only way for us to get that out is to get that out through a three-dimensional brain and a three-dimensional heart. Okay? Unfortunately, that's all we have to work with. And we somehow have to figure out how to get that power and that magic of those two words, I am, to work for us through that medium of a 3D brain and heart. Okay? Now, science has proven over and over again. Well, let me back up. A lot of these channels want to tie science to it and say, yes, science is proving this and quantum physics that, and so on and so forth. And they are right. Okay? They are absolutely right. However, they then want to say that all you have to do is say I am and adopt I am, and then you are that. Yeah, folks, that's not all you got to do. I'm sorry, that just ain't it. And for the people that works for, I have a girl who turned her entire life around in 1 week. I call her my 1 week wonder. Okay? However, I think she spent 1.5 years, if I'm not mistaken, with umpteen coaches and hours and hours and hours and hours spent affirming this and affirming that. And going through and reading everything that Neville Goddard had, everything that Joseph Murphy had, just umpteen times. She showed me notebooks that she had of all of this stuff that she had done and couldn't manifest what she wanted to manifest and wanted to know what she was missing. And so, folks, by the end of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what she was missing to turn her entire life around in 1 week. Okay? Now, if you look at it, it took her, and again, I believe it was 1.5 years. It took her 1.5 years for her to actually turn her life around. Okay? But once she came here and I got her to do this one thing, it turned everything around for her. All right? And it had to do with her self-concept. Everything is from your self-concept. I don't care what the rest of some of these other YouTubers tell you, because even they say the same thing. I can go back and look at their videos, at some of their videos, and I go, okay, that's self-concept. Okay, that's repetition of something that you're doing. That's self-concept. That's self-concept again. I've done it over and over and over again. If you are trying to manifest from the same thought processes that you had before, you're not going to be able to do it. And if you can't change, and many of them are automatic. I'm sorry for all those people that say that they're not, but they are. Just sit back one day and start driving around and start to pay attention to what your thought processes are doing. Okay? It's going to shock you. So now, what is it? What's the secret? Folks, one of the things that happens, let's say that you're worrying about something, all right? And you've got, all of a sudden, you got this tax bill that came in. You had this. Let me give you an example. Something that happened to me. I had was using this accountant that it wasn't the best. Okay, and this was early on. And he had done some accounting and so on and so forth, and it didn't end up being correct. And now then you sign that bottom of the piece of paper saying that you're going to take responsibility for everything, and the accountant is scot-free. Okay? And so it came back that I actually owed stuff, and then now they want to do an audit. Okay? Not now, but back then. And so I'm like, okay. So got all my material together and so on and so forth. And then when I went to go get this accountant, the accountant wasn't around. Okay, he had there's too many things for him to do. He didn't have time to do it. Well, he was obligated to do it, but he didn't do it anyway. Okay. So now I'm worrying. I'm thinking here and I'm fretting, oh great, what's going to happen here? Am I going to go to jail and stuff for this and so on and so forth? And so you're starting to think of this kind of stuff, right? And you're starting to worry about it. Okay, and so then you play this stuff over and over and over in your imagination, and you're scared half to death. Okay, so now you've got an elevated emotion attached to these thoughts. All right, and if you really break down the thoughts are not words. The thoughts are experiences or pictures in your mind. That's exactly what's happening to you. Okay? You're having these experiences and pictures in your mind of what might happen. But because they're playing in your mind, your subconscious does not understand the difference between what's real and what's not real. It's just taking it as what's happening now. Okay? And so, folks, some of you caught what I just said. Some of you didn't. What I said was, you're playing these experiences over and over and over again. And that's it. That's the secret. So when you're there and you're going over and over and over with these affirmations, and you're saying these affirmations, okay, you're not feeling them. You're just saying them, hoping that because of repetition, it's going to actually happen for you. No. Your subconscious mind is going to say, yeah, right, you don't have $10,000 in your bank. You never had $10,000 in your bank. So stop it with that nonsense. That's what your subconscious is saying to you. So if that's the case, then how are you going to get past that? Everybody told you that this is the super affirmation that'll get you everything that you want. Okay? But the only way that affirmation is going to get anything for you is if it motivates you to feel what is going on. That's the only way that affirmation is going to do what you want it to do. You need to experience within your imagination what that affirmation is saying. That, my friends, is the key and the secret. You need to experience it. You need to feel it. You need to be it. You need to smell those roses. And when those thorns prick you, you need to feel that as well. That's the secret to this. And that's what my 1 week wonder did. She took what she wanted and turned it into 4 affirmations. And then from that point, she did some other stuff, but from that point, she felt all of those affirmations. And within 1 week, changed everything that happened in her life. Okay? But now, was it really 1 week? No, of course not. She had spent all that time and learned all that stuff. Okay? So folks, this is work. This is a lifestyle change that you're going to make. Okay? I would be lying to you if I told you that I could take somebody off the street that had never heard of Neville Goddard, that hadn't heard of law of attraction or law of assumption or anything like that, and turn their life around within 1 week. That's not going to happen. Okay? The only way that that's going to happen is if that person already had a demeanor or a self-concept about themselves that they could accomplish whatever they wanted to accomplish. That's the only way that was going to work. And if that's the case, they'd have done that already. So there's going to be work, folks. There is no magic pill. There is no magic saying in the Bible. There is no magic cup of water that's poured into a blue glass. There's none of that stuff. And folks, I'll be the first to admit, I tried some of that stuff. Never did the water in the blue glass, though. Sorry about that. Writing something down and sticking it under your pillow is not doing anything for you. It's a piece of paper with ink on it. You need to feel this stuff from inside. That's the key. Get the feeling inside of you. Get the feeling of those words that you're saying inside of you. That's what Neville Goddard was saying. He said, implore all of your senses. Your sight, see it in your mind. Your smell it. What does it smell like in there? Bring this stuff to a familiar place bring those affirmations to a familiar place where you know what it looks like, what it feels like, what it smells like. That's what I do. I always bring my desire to a familiar place, someplace that I know where it's easy for me to sense it internally. That's what the key is. That's what the secret is, so I can experience it. That's why I was able to go from zero. I was living it out of my other car for about a few days, okay? But the thing is, had I not been manifesting and doing what I was doing, I'd have been living out of that car for a lot longer than that. Okay? But I was able to do that from earning zero. I had no money to breaking the 6-figure mark in 9 months. In a job that everybody said I wouldn't be able to do it. Especially since I had zero experience. None. Nothing. I had no experience whatsoever. Folks, experience it. Feel it inside. Okay? Go inside yourself. These people that say that meditation is not necessary, I'm sorry. I have to disagree with those people. Okay? And here's the funny thing about it. This is what cracks me up so much. Is some of those very people that say that meditation is not necessary. They go in and do meditation themselves. They just don't realize that it's meditation. For some reason, they don't want to put that moniker on it. Because people think it's all woo-woo. No, it's not. Folks, go inside yourself and feel this for yourself. Okay? And the more you do it, the more you feel it from within, the more it's going to seem real to you at that point. And then that desire that you want that's out there no longer has so much meaning to it. You'll get to the point to where, you'll look at it and say, hey, it'll be great if I get it, but it'll be just as good, if not better, if I don't. Because you have already experienced it with inside. And folks, that's where everything comes from within. Folks, experience your desire right now, and for every right now moment that you have, and watch what happens to your life. You're going to be shocked. Thanks for listening, folks, and remember, you've got this. Folks, if you have any questions for me, please email me at anthony@livingtheend.com. And then not only that, we also have another YouTube channel called Anthony's Answers. And if you have any questions about this, again, put those questions into my email address at anthony@livingtheend.com, and I will answer those questions for you. And then I will also put those questions on that channel for others to learn from them as well. And then, so let's go from there. Thanks for listening, folks. And remember, again, you've got this.